I believed my girlfriend was cheating with a Dungeons and Dragons character, so I spied on her, only to expose an unhinged player's creepy obsession that saved our future. Plus one update. Am I overreacting? I think my girlfriend might be cheating on me through her Dungeons and Dragons game. I, 27 male, have been going out with my girlfriend, 25 female, for almost 4 years, and we have been living together for a few months. She is funny and wonderful and kind, and honestly pretty much everything I ever wanted in a girl. She is also a bit of a Dungeons and Dragons type nerd, which I do not think is a bad thing. It is good that she has her own friends and hobbies. She tried getting me into it, but I do not really get it. She tried teaching me about Dungeons and Dragons, but there were just too many weird rules and dice, and I just did not see the fun in it. We tried playing Baldur's Gate 3 together, thinking it would be easier to get into for me and for me to experience her world in a way, but I got really bored really fast. At that point, it was just better to let her do her own thing. We have got plenty of other stuff we do together, and as I said, it is not a big deal for her to have hobbies that do not include me. And she does love her hobby. She gets very excited about her weekly games and sometimes tells me about the epic adventures they go on, which admittedly sounds pretty fun secondhand, but is not really for me. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment, so we have a bedroom and a home office we share, where our laptops are. Her Dungeons and Dragons games are online, and usually happen in the evening, so I just hang out in the living room or go out when she plays to not intrude. But a few weeks ago, I noticed that she locks the door when she plays. I thought it was a little weird, because why would you lock the door to play Dungeons and Dragons? And it did not sit right with me. So I did what I now think might have been very sad and pathetic, but I genuinely did not know what else to do. The last few weeks when she had her game, I sat out in the hall by the door and listened. She uses headphones, so I could only really hear her side of the game. At first, it was just some stuff about rolling dice, joking around with her friends, and spells doing whatever, but I kept at it. I sat there for 4 hours last week and over 2 hours this week, but eventually I heard it. She was talking about or with another person, and it was really romantic. It was tender and very emotional. She legitimately said something like, quote, "You know I love you, so I want to help you save your family," unquote, or something like that, in a clearly romantic way. It went on like that, like a clearly emotional discussion with a romantic partner that lasted a solid 15 minutes. Then it went back to other stuff, but by that point, it did not matter. I was really upset and went back to the living room, and when she came out after the session, I confronted her. I told her I heard her talking and telling some guy how much she loved him, and how he was the only one who ever got through to her, or something, so she would do anything for him. She said I was taking it out of context, and that it was just pretend and playing a character, but I told her it did not matter. This was not some video game where her character was speaking written lines to another character with written lines who was not real. She herself was saying sweet, loving, romantic things to another real person, and it hurt to hear. It felt like cheating. She said it was not cheating, and her character was not her. She just did it for the drama and thought being romantically invested made her character better. She also said that me sitting outside to listen in on her game was a violation of her privacy and showed that I did not trust her, which was why she felt like she needed to lock the door in the first place. I apologized for that, but at the same time, I said that me being wrong to eavesdrop does not justify what she did, to which she said that she did not do anything wrong. It was just what the game was, and it was just a game, but that made me feel even worse. Maybe I am being whiny or misreading it, but she is the first person I was ever really vulnerable with like that. The way she spoke to me when she told me how much she loved me, it was just so similar to the way she spoke as her character that it made me uncomfortable. It made me feel like something that was only mine and only for me was just given to someone else for a game. It felt like it cheapened it. Was she faking it with me? Was she genuinely feeling it for that other person? I do not know what exactly it is that is bothering me, because technically, she is not wrong. But I do not care if she is technically not cheating. I just feel like there are certain sides of my girlfriend that should be reserved only for me, shouldn't there? I could not really verbalize it to her, and after a bunch of arguing back and forth, we just went to bed. For the past few days, we have been in this weird state of limbo where we are going on like nothing happened, but also there is clearly tension. Today, I could not take it anymore, and I said that we need to talk about it. I said that I understand her hobbies are important to her, but I am her boyfriend, and there should be certain things that are just for me. I cannot go on knowing that she is talking like that to some other guy. So I told her that I support her going on with the games, but I ask that she no longer lock the door and no longer do whatever romantic stuff she does in-game. She said I did not mind when she talked to me at length about her romance with that Asterian guy in Baldur's Gate. I told her again that that is not the same. I do not mind her playing at romance with a bunch of pixels and being moved by fiction, but that her Dungeons and Dragons game is not just fiction. It is her telling those things to an actual person, and that bothers me, so I want her to stop. She said I was being possessive and controlling, and that I cannot tell her not to have hobbies or how to behave. I told her that is true, but if she does not understand how I feel about this, we might not have a future together. She got angrier and said I am clearly not in a state to be having this discussion, and we will talk again when I have calmed down. She went to school, she is getting her master's degree, but in the time since, I have been the opposite of calming down. I just get more upset the more I think about it. Clearly, me being upset should at least make her consider stopping, even if she is not actually cheating outright. Shouldn't my feelings matter on this issue? But also, maybe I am not being reasonable. Maybe I am overreacting. Help. Update. So, having read the comments you all gave, I thought I maybe was actually overreacting, and I really did F***up. Especially helpful, I thought, was a comment someone made about asking her about maybe keeping the door unlocked and being allowed to listen in on a session to get context and learn to accept her hobby, and let her still enjoy it without me spiraling. So when she came home from school, I made an apology dinner, homemade pizza from scratch, her favorite, and we sat down to talk. She started by demanding an apology because whatever else I had to say, eavesdropping and not trusting her were huge F***ups on my part. I agreed and apologized immediately because that was Tie behavior on my part, no question. That helped her be more open to hearing me out. So I said, more calmly and tactfully, that it bothers me that she is simulating romantic love with a person I do not know, in a context I do not understand. I said that I can and do apologize for my actions, but I cannot change how I feel, and that also needs to be discussed. So she asked what I had in mind. I told her that I think trust should go both ways, so me trusting that the game is just a game and it does not mean anything is well and good. But in return, I would like for her to keep the door unlocked and let me sit in on a few sessions. I promised not to be disruptive, not to overreact or interrupt the game, and to bring up any issues I had privately with her after the game was over. She seemed relieved because she was worried I would demand she drop the game or break up with her, and said she personally did not mind, but she needed to bring it up with her group, which I thought was very reasonable. The rest of the evening, though, she was constantly on her phone, constantly getting Discord notifications, and seemed more and more upset. This lasted for literally hours, well into the night, past when I was asleep. I asked if anything was wrong, and she said maybe, but not to wait up. She promised to tell me everything in the morning. I did not get much sleep, but I also did not want to pry too much, having just promised not to. So come morning, when I asked what happened, since she clearly did not get much sleep and was clearly nervous, she said she brought it up with the group and reactions were mixed. I am going to give these people fake names to keep track. So when she brought it up, everyone seemed okay with me listening in except Joe. Joe is the guy whose character she had the romance with. Joe said in their group chat that he would not feel safe acting. They call it role-playing, I guess, when there was a stranger in chat, and would not participate in any game I was present for. This obviously made my girlfriend respond that seeing the relationship between their characters was the whole point of me listening in, to which he said I am being unreasonable and violating his boundaries by making unreasonable demands. This was already pretty bad in my eyes, but then she told me about the private messages. After the group exchange, she got 3 messages, one was from Joe. Joe wrote a long, really, really long message about how much he cared about her, and how much it hurt him to see her, quote, dim her light, unquote, to appease a controlling, abusive boyfriend who stifled her creativity, and how she should be with someone who appreciated her, let her be herself and shared her interest, and that he was available if she, quote, wanted to talk, unquote. He finished with a paragraph about how women like her always go for selfish, holes, and do not appreciate the wonderful guys all around them. How he felt such a connection with her through their characters, and how could she ignore it? I genuinely could not believe I was seeing one of these in the wild. I do not usually get second-hand embarrassment, but that S* was so cringe I almost died. Like, I genuinely laughed. I could not really be angry, that S* was just so sad. She also got messages from Jenny, another player, who said Joe seemed way too invested in the romance for her taste, and she thought those segments were taking up a lot of game time, which she thought was better used elsewhere. She never said anything because she thought my girlfriend was really into it, but now that it became an issue, she thought she should. She also mentioned she found Joe creepy, which I personally appreciate. I do not know any of these people in real life because it is an online group, but I certainly think Jenny might be my new best friend. Finally, there was a message from Mitch, the guy running the game, who said Joe reached out to him demanding I not be allowed to, and this is a quote, violate the intimacy of the group, unquote. And he said Mitch should talk to my girlfriend too, to get her to drop me listening in and possibly drop me altogether. I do not even know how or why Mitch would even attempt to do that. All this resulted in them canceling the next game as they work it out. My girlfriend did not respond to Joe yet, but at least she seems relieved that I am taking this well. I told her, of course I am. I am not going to be upset over some guy being into her. She is wonderful, of course guys are going to be into her wherever she goes. The issue I was worried about was that she was into him back, and these messages convinced me that that is clearly not the case, which seems to have made her feel a lot better. We talked a bit more, and she now seems to agree that locking the door, in context, might have seemed suspicious, and that going forward, our ground rule should be that character dynamics that make her feel like she should lock the door might be the exact dynamics she should make me aware of. While I promised to trust her to tell me these things and not to eavesdrop anymore, and approach her openly about listening in on sessions. Also, the romance with Joe's character is not going to continue, but seeing how she feels about Joe now, I think I do trust her to do character romance going forward, just to not hide it from me and be selective with who she does it with. I do not know how the Joe situation is going to be handled within the group, but I guess that is up to them, since playing with him is obviously going to be very awkward for her. I guess since she does not intend to keep up the romance, it does not really matter. Small edit. Since the situation basically resolved itself now, Joe did not like being left on read. So he wrote my girlfriend a very rude message about how, I kid you not, she was going to die alone with cats because her, whole boyfriend, is going to leave her when she loses her looks. He literally never saw her in person, to be clear, uncovering my secret plan, I guess. So she just blocked him and sent a screenshot to Mitch. My girlfriend apologized for not recognizing how absolutely unhinged the guy was. We reasserted that any in-game interaction she is not comfortable having in front of me is probably one she should not be having.